I got a question for you guys. Why is it that some electronic music feels utterly timeless? Is it because of the vinyl crackle? Is it because of the tape saturation, which makes everything seem warm? Or is it just because the tracks are really old with all of the high frequencies rolled off and the bass rolled off and it all just sounds cheap, like it's being played through a fucking radio? God, it is so fucking sweaty in here. Right. Oh, my hair looks shit. The reason why I'm asking this is because about a month ago I went to see Sasha and Digweed live. It was sick. He played old tracks, he played new tracks, and the whole thing felt like exactly the same time frame. You probably already know that Sasha is known as like the godfather of progressive house. He's the creator of Expander, voted the world's #1 DJ back in the year 2000, and he's still releasing highly acclaimed music well into 30 years into his career, including a collaboration with Anjuna Deep's Marsh, a track called Dead Synthy. That's what made me pay attention. So in this video, I just want to analyze some of his music from the past in comparison to the music that he's released recently, identify the similarities, to hear the elements that have been updated, and to also hear the things that haven't changed in 30 years and people still absolutely love it, and why. Let's jump in and just listen to and analyze some of his older music. Before we jump in, if you enjoy these deep dive Ableton breakdowns, you'll love my Patreon. Every week I post exclusive tutorials, project files, track feedback, and complete start to finish production series. Right now I'm halfway through a full remix course where I'm showing every single step of analysing the original track to a finished mix. And if you'd like to learn with me every week, there is a link below. Right, let's get back to Sasha and why music is timeless. Headphones, yeah. Anyway. So let's have a quick listen to a remix that Sasha did of Lobstep's Burma. Let's break down the layers here. The first thing that you get is a breakbeat. I think the reason why this is timeless is because the drum samples that are being used are still being used in music today, but yet they have that real 90s quality, this kind of kick, which feels very like 909 style, and then you get this really noisy MPC style snare which goes tss. But yet it's still groovy, it still works. Now listen to the breakdown section where you listen to what's happening with the synths. The timbre of the sound, it's a little bit like, it almost sounds like a real electronic bass, like an electric bass, on top of this stabby synth with 16s, like which is very trancy, and that kind of trancy thing is very hypnotic, and it also keeps moving. But it's also the density of the chord, it's the harmonics, because music that is nostalgic usually has very, very rich harmonics, as you can see in here. Also, the thing that makes it timeless, which still works, is that sort of that growl, because people, that kind of growling sounds sound so tight on a big PA sound system, especially when you see this kind of music live. And the other thing is, you listen to the drums and the lead sounds, but listen to the etheria, the big vocals, the oh, which is just spread out over the top, which is the thing that makes you close your eyes and just go. So the entire frequency spectrum is taken up. You get that punchy low end, you get that stuttery, trancy 16th synths, which are always used in music today, and those washed out, glorious, dense harmonic pads, and the whole thing washes over, and you feel it here and you feel it down here, and that's why it worked then, and it also works now. And that track came out in 2004. Cut to 21 years later, and you get his collab with Marsh called Dead Synthy. Have a listen. Still has those stuttery, stabby, very, very bright electronic synth sounds over the top. And bright white noise. But pay a special attention to this bit whenever the break beat comes in. This is the bit which sounds like it could come from the 80s, but it was released just last year. It's the contrast between the 80s sounding drums being run through chorus, being fucked around with, and you get those constant stuttering, very, very bright synths and etheria over the top. It worked back in 2004, it works now. That's why this music is utterly timeless. So now let me show you how to make some of those sounds. I got a whole bunch of drums that I could find on my Ableton stock, which sound a bit like this. The kick was almost exactly the same. Then I found this, I think I just typed in 90s snares, nostalgic snares, MPC snares, and here are the samples I found. And those are all individual samples, but then what I did is I pressed Command J to consolidate a whole bunch of audio slices into one audio rack, and then I dragged it into simpler, went into slice mode, and then started playing around with the MIDI. So the kick was at C1, then the snare was a combination of these two, and I put in a hi-hat there. Pretty accurate. And as for the hi-hat, I highly recommend using the DS hi-hat, which comes with Ableton 12, and you go to pink noise, you go to show automation new line. I just using record with the automation button on and make sure that the arm is turned off. You can record in your own automation. Because chorus and flanger were just really, really popular back in the 90s, so if you do that, it'll feel very nostalgic. It's something to do with the haziness and the washiness of the sound. Anything that's washed out usually just brings you back into the past. And then, without any real processing, I just put G-clip on the end. No real mixing necessary. Done. Bass. Wavetable is really, really cool for things like this. I know I use it a lot, but you can do so much in Ableton stock. First of all, you have to make sure that the MIDI is composed correctly, so therefore I just went d-d-d. So therefore the two first notes are short and the other is longer, and you get a nice dense chord. So you do need to compose your chords with harmonic density. And I went to collection and amber and started looking around for something that I thought had this shiny metallic quality to it. And also I added some swept noise, which adds even more shine. And then I put on unison to make the sound a bit wider. One thing I didn't do is you put the utility, put the bass on. And then I ran the sound into my return echo and reverb. The echo is set to 4-2. And with the drums, now let's go to the pad. Check this out. How is that achieved? It's a simple square wave with fold at 9.4. She doesn't really do much. Square wave would do. Shimmer, voices 8, amount 20, which makes the sound from mono to stereo. And again, these sounds are also being sent to the echo and the reverb. Make it sound nostalgic by adding chorus and flanger. And the stutter was created using shaper mapped to utility, a technique which I showed you in many videos. This in combination with the bass. Similar technique, I duplicated this and I went down here and I took the MIDI, which again, harmonically dense. That's the other thing about nostalgic music. They do not skimp on the harmonics. The chords are wide. It's like using loads of fingers to dial down the chords. That's the key to making something sounding nostalgic and timeless and emotional. Especially 80s and 90s music, the chords were wide. And this is the same stutter technique, except I drew in a different pattern. This one is fairly straightforward. This is just a straight up sawtooth with lots of reverb, with phase synced. Anything with phasing adds that motion, which again makes things seem nostalgic. And I ran it through an auto pan. You could even remove that, to be honest with you. Now let's look at Dead Synthy by Marsh and Sasha. Okay, first the drums. Let me break down how this is achieved. First, I re-recorded a kick from the DS kick instrument and then I tweaked with it until I arrived at a kick that I liked. And I created the break beat, and I also had a few notes going low. This EQ is just to boost the transient a bit. The hi-hats, again, the DS instruments are really, really good for this. So this is the white noise. And I put it on the offbeat as standard, and I also had some extended notes. Then there's the pink hi-hat, which I really like because this is very, very metallic sounding. Played around with the decay and the pitch, so therefore there's a constant sense of movement, so it feels like it's alive. You put them all together and I have this rack, a lot of choruses put on this, and then drum bus at nearly, well, 69 because sexy, putting up the boom and then putting on G clip. Make sure it doesn't go over the top. Now let's take a look at the pad. The famous drum and bass pad sample sounds like this. And I created nice dense, again, dense harmonics. Put the filter on, boosting the res, and you have to make sure that this goes down. And then Valhalla Supermassive, just default at 70%. Echo. What's cool is that whenever you put OTT on it, it just boosts the crispiness. Now let's go to the leads. First lead. Straight up, this is a sawtooth. With another folded sine wave. I boosted the drive. Without the drive, it's just This makes it thicker, and you turn the resonator up. That's not doing anything. Heavy glue. And again, I think it's the default supermassive. Because this is something which again adds to that floatiness. And then one last one. Oh yeah, I forgot to actually record in the automation for this. So let me turn this off and press record. And I'm going to play around with the filter. That'll do. And the MIDI notes, as you can see, are just straightforward 2 notes at a time. So all together. There are reasons why 808 drums and noisy snares are still popular these days. Because they fill the whole spectrum. Lovely, shiny, dusty melodies. And you need to start incorporating that into your music. And if you want to have one-on-one lessons with me, contact me on this email the moment this video finishes. And join my Patreon. Don't waste time with Tier 1, go straight to Tier 2. I'm currently working on a 16 video curriculum about how to make a professional remix, which covers all of these categories. Have they? Hold on, wait. Bing! Okay, well, all of those categories. Alright, go away. Bing! Hope you found this useful. I've been Gavin from Hologram Productions. Don't forget to subscribe. Hey, Paul! See you next time.